All right, I'm live.
Recording in progress.
And I'm recording, but not recording like that. So, cool. No, you good. All right. Today is March 6, 2022. Today we are talking about upgrading my commitment, consistency, and focus strategies to co-create better lives. You're scaling up. 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 Scaling up. I'm going to say it again. Upgrading my commitment, consistency, and focus strategies to co-create better lives. Here we go. Okay. So, you know how you have a goal, right? Let's take your real starting point. Let's take your real starting point right here. And then let's take your I'm acting like I'm serious this time point here. How many of us are acting like we're serious versus our real starting point? Now, our real starting point to any goal, our higher point of seriousness comes when there's bad water that gets in your boat, or bad water overtaking your boat. However, there will always be water in your boats since the human body is mostly made of water. It's all about keeping the relevant water in and the irrelevant water out. Now let's call your boat a ship. That ship could be called a leadership, a partnership, or entrepreneurship, which are all ships that carry the cargo of your current commitment, consistencies, and focus levels on board. I'm going to say this again. Your leadership, your partnership, and your entrepreneurship are all ships that carry the cargo of your current commitment, your current consistencies, and your current focus levels on board. What happens that makes our shipping experience better? What happens that makes our shipping experience better? Yeah, it's called a turning point or a breaking point. I need your help in helping me figure out what makes us get these consistencies. Is it the turning point or is it the breaking point? Let's find out. Now, does your breaking point come first or does your turning point come first? What do you think? Turning point 1, breaking point 2. Which one are you going to say? Which one comes first? Turning point or breaking point? Turning point? Nah. Okay, let's see. Breaking point? Okay, I know. I think that's okay. Breaking point. That's what I think. So, is your commitment, consistency, and focus at its best when you reach your turning point or breaking point? Is my commitment, consistency, and focus at its best when I reach my turning point or breaking point? Let's say it is. Even if it is, it may dramatically change at this point because a break or turn usually signifies a change of direction is coming or already happening. Let's look at the definition of turning point because we're going to figure this out. The definition of turning point: a time which a decisive change in a situation occurs, especially one with beneficial results. So a time which a decisive change in a situation occurs, especially one with beneficial results. I don't know, that's a decisive change. Like, I'm deciding. That's pretty. Does turning point come first? A decisive change in a situation. Everybody going through a situation, everybody needs to make decisions, especially ones that benefits them. Turning point. Well, let's look at the breaking point definition. The movement of greatest strain at which someone or something gives way. So it's the moment of greatest strain. This is your greatest strain at which someone gives or something gives way. Breaking point. Let's see. When we experience a breaking point, we will begin our turning points. And our turning points occur because of the level of the breaking point that made us turn that way. Literally and figuratively speaking. You can't even turn your vehicle safely. So you see safely. Because you can turn your vehicle, but watch this. You can't turn your vehicle safely without properly braking first. So I think your breaking point comes first. Is your goal too big for your maintenance? Now check this out. Everybody got a big goals, right? Well, when you reach your goal, do you run off into the sunset? Do you run off into the sunset? When you reach your goals? Is it over? No. Is your goal too big for your maintenance? Because your commitment, your consistency, and your focus is a part of your mental maintenance work. Jason, what are you talking about? Your maintenance costs on a high-end automobile may make you not want it, or may make you not want it anymore because your high maintenance costs. Just like the maintenance cost of your high-end goal can make you not want it or not want it anymore because your high-end goal has some high-end maintenance. Due to the higher levels of commitment, consistency, and focus attached to that particular goal. Well, can I see anyone's commitment or consistency or focus instantly, Jason? I'm not going to say instantly. I'll say in about 45 seconds you can. You can see someone's commitment, consistency, and focus in about 45 seconds. What? How do you ask them? Like, what are you talking about? Well, ask them about the roads that they've been driving on and how fast they've been driving, so you can properly gauge their potential stopping points. What do you mean by that? Well, okay, let's look at life like a road. If somebody's been going 100 miles an hour and they met you and they said they stopped. Oh my God, I've been dating all these people, and I meet you and they just stopped because they just met you. But they've been going 100 miles an hour, and we know from a scientific and technological standpoint, if a car going 100 miles an hour just stops, you're going to ruin that car. Because logically, you're going to have to slow down at 100 miles an hour, right? So, Jason, are you saying, I get it, Jason. You saying you on the first couple of dates, you find out how fast a person's been driving, and they might say, oh my God, I met you. You're the love of my life. I ain't messing with nobody else. I'm da-da-da-da-da. And they've been driving 500 miles an hour. They may mean well. But if you stop a vehicle going 500 miles an hour, you're going to break something. So ask them about the roads they've been driving on and how fast they've been driving, so you can properly gauge their potential stopping points. Now, there's people out here going, hey, I haven't dated anybody in 58 years. Yeah, they probably going 2 miles an hour. So they might meet you and stop and be able to stop in their tracks because they ain't been really driving that fast. So they may be telling the truth. You might have stopped them in their tracks because they haven't been driving that fast anyway. All right. So again, I don't care what you say. These are macro points. Why would I give you micro points? These are macro points that set up really dope micro conversations. So to scale up any goal, check this out. To scale up any goal, it takes commitment, consistency, and focus to scale up any goal. Well, what if we do? How do you decrease a goal? Because there's people out here that wanted to go lower. Well, to decrease your goal just takes a decrease in your commitment, your consistency, and your focus by usually focusing on something else. If we investigated and analyzed your past successes or failures or outcomes, we will easily see what we are committed to, consistent with, and focused on. I'll say this again. If we investigated and analyzed our past successes and our past failure outcomes, we would easily see what we were committed to, consistent with, and focused on. Now, a lot of people you're going to deal with, they're not committed. Well, some of them might be mentally committed to an institution. I'm just playing. I'm not playing, but I'm playing. But I'm playing, but I'm not playing. But the commitment we're talking about, and the commitment we're talking about, it gets confused with a lot of people who are interested. So again, commitment versus interested. Let's look at it. Interested. Let's look at the definition of, or a definition of interested. Interested is showing curiosity or concern about something or someone. Having a feeling of interest. Oh, that's interesting. I don't need no interesting people. I don't need no interested people. We need, or you need, or your company or your team or your group needs commitment, which is a state or quality of being dedicated to a cause or activity, etc. Now, when is the last time you actually made a commitment? I didn't say when is the last time you made an interest. I made an interest in them. I made an interested in them. I didn't say that. That's why we deciphered the two. So, when is the last time you actually made a commitment? And what was it? Now, commitment is the reason behind any result you receive. I gotta say that again. Commitment is the reason behind any result you receive. Once I evaluate how you spend your time, I can tell you what you are truly committed to. Once I evaluate how you spend your time, I can tell you what you are truly committed to. Now, how do you mix your commitment with your consistency? So again, we're not talking about how do you mix your interested with consistency, and that's why you can't be consistent, because you're really interested. You're not committed. That's why it's kind of hard for you to stay consistent with a lot of things, because you're probably just interested in it, because you're distracted by so many things. Oh, I'm interested. What are you committed to? And then, how do you mix your commitment with consistency? Well, consistency, a definition of consistency is a conformity in the application of something, typically that which is necessary for the sake of logic, accuracy, or fairness. So it's a conformity in the application of something, typically that which is necessary for the sake of logic, accuracy, or fairness. Consistency. Okay. Have you ever went to the gym for the first time and you looked in the mirror to see if you had results? Why do you do that? Why'd you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you go to the gym for the first time and start working out and look to see if something changed. What is wrong with you? Going to the gym for 25 minutes will not dramatically change your body in one day. Working out for 7 hours straight. So again, working out for 7 hours straight for the first time will not dramatically change your body. Working out every day for 7 days in a row the right way may begin to show slight changes, but 7 months of proper consistency will bring more changes. But 7 years just creates more changes. The longer the proper consistency, the better. Brushing your teeth for 3 minutes for one day will do nothing for your teeth. It's when you do it every day when you see better results. And then once you do it twice or 3 times a day is when you see even better results. The increase of proper consistency is what determines your higher outcomes. Shout out to the people spitting fire lyrics. I remember. Let's unpack this consistency. Let's get some other words with consistency. I remember having a conversation with one of the most successful doctors that I know. And I asked this particular doctor one word that would describe their daily life. This doctor said monotony. Monotony is a lack of variety and interest, tedious repetition and routine. I'm going to say this again. I said, hey, highly successful doctor, in one word, what would you describe your daily life? Highly successful doctor. This highly successful doctor said monotony. And I looked up monotony and I said the monotony is the lack of variety. You know how everybody want to do, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Monotony is a lack of variety and interest, tedious repetition and routine. Tedious repetition and routine. On your goal, on your path. So again, it needs to be monotony wrapped around your gift, talent, your destiny, your focus. Now, is it really monotony, or is it the organic alphabet process that feels like not much is changing when usually it's not just how we want it to grow or go? So I like to break it down like a steps chart. I have an A through Z steps chart that you should connect to any project. And we know the alphabet has A, and we know the alphabet has Z at the end. A at the beginning, Z at the end. Well, there's a beginning of your project and there's an end of your project too. So if you treat it like the alphabet, A stands for this part, B stands for this part, and you get to Z, or you get to your goal, that will be considered a successful project, no matter what your project is. So follow one course until successful. Don't run behind money. Instead, solve problems for large groups of people, which usually makes large groups of people want to pay for your custom solutions. Don't run behind money. Instead, solve problems for large groups of people, which magically makes large groups of people want to pay you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. For your custom solutions. Yeah, I'm going to make these solutions like everybody else. For your custom solutions. Yeah, I'm going to Google some solutions and then I'm going to make them mine. For your custom solutions. Yeah, I'm going to read about how everybody else did it, and the one I like the best, I'm going to do. For your custom solutions. That's like reading about the tape player and then creating a CD player. Or reading about the CD player and then creating the iPod. That's a custom solution because you're not reinventing the wheel. You put rims on it. I'm just playing. So Turn the consistency and commitment and focus backwards to see it better. Hold on, Jason. You gonna help us turn it backwards? Because we so negative and we have to see it from a negative standpoint to see the positive message in this. Yeah, you negative person. Okay, so let's turn consistency, let's turn commitment, and let's turn focus backwards. Turn around. Consistency, commitment, and focus. Turn around. So the negative people and the backwards looking people I'm gonna be nice, can see you better. Okay. Eating bad food today, just today, and never again may not dramatically affect your body. Eating bad food consistently over time is what causes the ailments that harm or kill us. So this is nothing more than positive consistency, commitment, focus. Positive consistency, commitment, and focus turned backwards. So this goes for disease, laziness, and ignorance, among other negative things we don't need. But again, disease, laziness, and ignorance is tied to consistency, commitment, and focus. It's just turned backwards into a negative thing. How to create focus. Because I don't have focus. You got to create it. Jason, if we don't create it, I'm not going to I have a hard time focusing on things. There is so much to focus on. Are you saying create a focus that works for me? Yeah. Create a focus that works for my mental health? Yep. Create a focus of the opposite stuff that I'm focusing on now that's going against my mental health? Yeah. By thoroughly exploring your loves and likes. You know what you love? Oh no. You know what you like? Oh no. By thoroughly exploring your loves and your likes the right way, my way, the right way, their way, the right way, his way, the right way, her way, the right way, then you will begin to see the right loves and likes that would and could receive your best focus. Kind of can't focus on something you don't know what to focus on. And then once you begin to do this, you will begin to update and increase your focus strategies organically and by yourself. So, focusing on so-called realistic things. I say, because you can't tell somebody what realistic is. You can't tell somebody what they're real. This is your realistic. This is your realistic. This is your realistic. This is your realistic. You can't say that. I say you can eat a whole whale one bite at a time versus trying to eat a whole whale in one bite. That's universally what I can just tell people. You can do it, but you might not be able to do that in one bite. We did it in 3. We did it in 300. We did. Hey, you just probably can't do it in one bite. Robert Kiyosaki said, he gave an acronym for focus. It's actually F for follow, O for one, C for course, U until, S successful. Follow one course until successful. Focus. I like that one. I'm going to say this again though. Focus on solving problems and don't look for opportunities. Look for problems, which creates more opportunities. Look for problems. Stop looking for opportunities. There's not a lot of opportunities out here, y'all. I'm telling you. There's so many problems, which creates more opportunities. The time to act is now. Act, root word action. Action definition, the fact or process of doing something typically to achieve an aim, a thing done, an act, but a thing done. All right. Here's some ways to measure successful actions. 7. Identify what you want to achieve. Develop long-term and short-term goals. This allows you to have foresight and to be short and to be nearsighted. Imagine you being like that with your goals. I can see it long and I can see it short. It's important to identify the action you want to accomplish and what type of outcome you're seeking. Number 2, set a deadline. Number 3, set milestones. Number 4, turn your goals into SMART goals, right? SMART, we know what SMART goals is, right? S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, T for time bound. So again, this is what a lot of people like to say. Well, who's to say what is achievable and what is relevant? Well, what is it to you? So what is specific to you? What is measurable to you? What is measurable or achievable to y'all? What is relevant to y'all? What is time bound to y'all? Or you all, or your project or your team, or if it's just you. All right, number 5, document and review progress. Number 6, celebrate and show appreciation to all project mates, including yourself. Number 7, repeat number 1. That was easy. So, what are your motivation and inspiration gas stations? Okay, what are you talking about? What are my motivation and inspiration gas stations? Well, imagine trying to drive an automobile consistently without ever getting gas or rarely getting gas. So again, imagine driving an automobile consistently without ever getting gas or rarely getting gas. So again, according to this gas analogy that I'm setting up, since best information coming to you at the best times is like mental gas to our bodies and minds, which are the cars needed for this gas. Who and where are your mental gas stations? Who can fill your mind up with that premium? Who got that premium? Who got that? Who got that gas? So, connecting your mind to your commitment, consistency, and your focus. You're telling me I can connect my mind to my commitment, my consistency, and my focus? Yeah, watch this. This is deep too. This is real deep. William Shakespeare wrote plays. He created characters, right? So it's safe to say that a little or a lot of Shakespeare is in those characters, right? Even if those characters have a so-called mind of their own, that chaos that those created characters are in were created by the mind and from the mind of Shakespeare. So whoever wrote our script, or whoever wrote our script and created us, mind is currently in our minds. The higher you go in mind, the closer you get to the creator. Now that's a fact. And you receiving higher downloads, I don't care what nobody say. That is a gift from the creator, and all is mind. So mind is coming from somewhere. So the higher you go in mind, the closer you get to the creator. So write your script. Write your script for the commitment, for the consistency, for the focus, characters. You must become to reach your best goals. Here's a disclaimer. I didn't want to leave none of the perfect people out. Here's a disclaimer for the perfect people. For all the people who have so-called reached their highest point of mind, remember that God is the cause of mind. Just like God is not a man or woman, God is the cause of gender. And I will respect anyone that can explain the cause of mind, the cause of gender, the cause of dimensions, the cause of spirit, the cause of the universe, the cause of life, the cause of cause, which will cause me to actually listen to them explain it. All right, let's move on from that energy. Okay, so let's cover consistency of flow. Let's cover consistency of flow. Can you do this? This is hard. I know this for a fact. I can tell you the zodiac signs of the people who can't do this. Can you do what you once said you would do at the energy, at an energy that may be lower than the time that you originally said you would do that thing? That's a form of flow. Doing what you once said you would do at an energy that may be lower than the time you originally said you would do it. You are still operating in flow. Because sometimes you can break the flow because you don't feel like doing that. But you once said you were going to do that. Begin practicing or making attempts towards becoming your best commitment, your best consistency, and your best focused self, and experiencing the best actions that follow. Even when you don't feel like it, that's the time to really practice. Man, I don't feel like doing nothing today. Can you run? Can you follow your dreams at the day and times that you don't feel like it? I don't feel like doing nothing today. That's when you need to try it. Because if you can whoop, I don't feel like doing it right now. If you can whoop, I don't feel like doing that today. Then what is really stopping you? Because I don't feel like it is not stopping you. What can really stop you? And but again, you may not feel like it because you are physically somewhere else, even when you are presently here. And this is for my science buffs. Science proves that there is proof of a parallel universe. In 2012, two quantum physicists, Dr. Hirachi and Dr. Wineland, received a Nobel Prize for their experiments, which showed that a particle can be at two locations at the same time. These experiments indirectly showed that a parallel universe exists. So this is how I was looking at it. I was like, well, shoot. I'm on the big stage. You're on the big stage. But if I'm on the big stage, I should always be on the bigger stage. Which, again, we're playing with analogies. And no matter what your so-called big stage is, or no matter what your whatever current big stage that you're currently on, be on your bigger stage while you're on your big stage, which is called an actual present, being present, or I like to call it the parallel party rooms that your gifts makes room reservations for. So again, if we're living in a parallel universe, let's go into our parallel party rooms. And let's connect these rooms to our gifts, because we can live our lives according to our gifts. We can live our lives according to laziness. We can live our lives according to whatever we want to live it for. But if you connect it with your gift, get ready for rooms. And if according to science we got parallel universes or different rooms, then according to your parallel universe that science is saying the particles, which were made of many particles, I like to say this because some people get like, this is called spookiness. And I'm like, well, your other parallel universe could be your future. And that takes a lot of the spookiness out because you are connected to your future. And we know it's connected to your past. So if you look at a parallel universe as, oh, I'm just dealing with the future me, trying to heal the past me, dealing with it in the present, that don't sound that spooky to me. And that could be a parallel universe. Because your future does exist right now. Whatever it is, it exists. So put rims on it. All right. And again, for all the Christians out there that might be scared of that, Proverbs 18:16 says your gift will make room for you. Check that scripture out. But I'm going to close it here. Thank you for joining me for another Sunday Bars presentation. Thank y'all. This is a late one. But for any questions and anything like that, I'm not going to give out the email yet, but inbox me and let's work. Appreciate y'all. Let me stop that.
Recording stopped.
All right. Thank y'all. Peace and love.